back to another podcast. The Euros just finished yesterday, like day before. For us, it was yesterday, and wow, nobody would expected what just happened. I mean, tell us more, Aryan. It's like I was like, I've lost so much of sleep watching the Euros. I'm so happy Italy have won. What do you think? I think you were supporting England, right? You wanted to come home or something.
Yeah, it was coming home till it wasn't. It was coming home till like what 60th minute, and then
66th.
66th was the heartbreaking moment. I have no idea. I mean, the match was like I don't know what England was playing till they didn't concede. Like they were waiting to concede, and then they will do something. But like till 90th minute, I was disappointed in their game. Post 90th minute, in the extra time, it was a good game. England was definitely going for more counters and definitely playing a bit better, and it showed on. But like I think Southgate needed to take some critical decisions, which he didn't. Especially the penalties did not seem to click right with me. I get why he called out Rashford, because he was one of the main penalty takers before Bruno, and same with Sancho. Like he did have a critical role in Dortmund, but when you have Grealish, Sterling, Maguire, Luke Shaw, more experienced players, and you give it to Saka. And it's not like Saka is the only one at fault, and it's also because Rashford and Sancho him themselves missed a lot. Like weren't the best, but I'll give Rashford that he hit the post, and Sancho had a good penalty, but it wasn't the best. But it's still
But aren't you speaking about that from your hindsight? Because if Rashford or
No.
Sancho had scored, you'd be saying that it's a great move because Grealish had never taken a penalty. Sterling has missed ample amount of penalties for Man City. So
Grealish hasn't
Sancho
taken a
and
penalty in
Rashford
2 years.
having so Sancho and Rashford being
has
experienced
Saka.
penalty takers, if they'd had scored, I think it would be a different story because England fans would be
Yeah, that's the thing.
applauding
That's the thing. I'm
Okay,
Southgate
not.
for
okay, okay.
making such a substitution.
I'm not. I'm
You
not.
know, I'm going to give you some examples here. Okay, so I mean, 2 months ago, United was a Villarreal Europa League final. 2 minutes left. Oli brought on Juan Mata and Alex Telles to take penalties, and both of them scored. Both Mata took the first, Telles took the second. Both of them battered theirs into top corner. Both of them scored. It looked like a brilliant move. Here, Rashford and Sancho missed, like, oh, why are you bringing them on the last minute, this and that. And another occasion, 2008 Champions League final, United versus Chelsea, Moscow. Fifth penalty, the last penalty was taken by Nani. He was 19, 20, 21 around that time. Sudden death, first penalty taken by 18-year-old Anderson. And guess who took the second penalty in sudden death? Ryan Giggs.
Okay.
So, I mean, Nani and Anderson took penalties before Ryan Giggs. So I mean, it doesn't really fall upon experience rather than who wants to take a penalty. And Saka was confident he wanted to take a penalty, and he took a penalty. So I mean, until and unless, even if Pickford wanted to take a penalty, I would still been fine until and unless he wanted to take a penalty. So in penalties, you can't really blame anybody if they scored or missed because they're basically a game of chance.
So the Saka decision, I think it fell on Southgate also because he did justify it by saying that while in training they did practice taking penalties. And it all came down to maybe in training, Grealish missed 4 out of his 5 penalties, while Saka might have scored 5 of his 5. And on the day of the final, he somehow missed. So it's a game of chance, isn't it? So now missing 3 penalties can happen quite often in shootouts because and Italy are great at shootouts. Donnarumma hasn't conceded and is a giant of a goalkeeper. So I think it's tough to blame all the players and all the racial discrimination they've been getting over social media. So it was a great final, and I think they should applaud the players for reaching till the final.
Yeah, that's the thing. I agree with how the final did turn out. I like in the end, it was a heartbreak for me, but and I still curse Southgate for it. But overall, their run was nice, and like the team did come out well. Like against Germany, they played well. Against a lot of other teams, they showed how good they can be as a team. One thing I just did not like about the finals was the ruckus that was created post finals. I agree, a lot of England fans and a lot of fans in general are very devoted to football as a sport, but the comments, the posts, even people like Landon Norris got robbed, and everything that went down after it does not lie in the spirit of football. Um, like if you see the last penalty, you can see Saka is crying, and the only people who are comforting them is Grealish, Southgate, and I don't know.
Phillips,
Yeah,
Calvin Phillips.
yeah.
Calvin Phillips.
So all of them knew what was lying on that guy's shoulder, but that does not mean we judge these one odd penalty kick on the basis of their color or where they're from, and that did not turn out well in my books. Like,
Another thing where putting all the blame on Southgate, which I don't agree with, is because England were two good penalties away from bringing it home. This was the greatest result in the last 55 years.
mhm.
They played 133 minutes of the final, and they were like those last 2 minutes away from actually winning. So Southgate did a brilliant job. He only conceded what, 2 goals, and all of them were from set plays. So the defense was quite solid, and England played pretty well. But credit to the Italians because they kept pushing and pushing, and after Luke Shaw had scored, they were relentless after that. It was just Italian wave after wave.
I actually don't agree with your first point. It's like, I believe Southgate is the problem here. If you see England's run to the final, Germany, they got extremely lucky with that Muller one-on-one miss. If Muller had scored that, I'm 100% sure Germany would have gone to win that match, because then Germany went all out attack. They put everyone forward, and then only then England scored the second goal. Otherwise, if it was 1-1, Germany was on the front foot. They would have won. Second game, Ukraine. Third game, semi-final, Denmark. Denmark 1-1. So Denmark take the lead. Denmark score an own goal. Referee gives them the worst decision I have seen since Sterling fell over against Shakhtar after he hit the pitch. That was just sheer luck. If it would have gone to penalties, I'm sure Schmeichel was much better at saving penalties rather than Pickford. And final, I think that luck just ran out at the end.
Yeah, so luck is all part of a game of all part of the game, right? When Portugal won it in 2016,
Yeah,
they
it's
won
not only
only
that
one
though.
match in normal time, right?
Yeah, I completely agree with that. But there, the manager had some say here. Look at the substitutions. He had Grealish, completely fit Grealish. I get why he didn't play Rashford. He had a completely fit Sancho. Yet he decided to bring on Henderson for what? And that too not and that too not even to take a penalty. He took him off in extra time. He did the same to Grealish against Denmark, where he got him in the final moments of the game, and he took him off during extra time. Like, what is he doing? Bringing Saka and Henderson on instead of Grealish and Sancho. I genuinely was baffled with the decision. The
Yeah,
firepower England have.
I do agree. Some of the substitutes were like very bad by Southgate because after Bonucci scored in the final, everyone could see that the game required a Grealish or a Sancho to rev up the tempo of the game.
I mean, moving on to the Copa America tournament. I think whenever you play a tournament at home and you reach the final, it automatically means you will lose. It happened to England, now it's happened to Brazil. That to Argentina, who've never really won anything until now. So with Messi in their side, what do you think about it?
I mean, they did have a great squad. For the first time, they had an actual squad playing with Di Maria, Rodrigo de Paul, Messi carrying them, stat padding against Bolivia, but that doesn't matter. He had a few very important goals in the final, in the semi-final and all. And he had an overall wonderful tournament, finishing it as the highest goal scorer, highest assister, most free kick goals and most key passes. He led every stat of the Copa America, and they overall he had a great tournament. And I think Argentina deserved to win, and Messi deserved that international trophy that he was lacking. And just coincidentally, Ronaldo won his international cup on 10th of July of 2016, and Messi ended up winning his on 10th of July of 2021. So it's now being regarded as the day of the goats. So it was overall a wonderful tournament. I mean, not as high in quality in the earlier stages as the Euros were, but in the latter stages of the tournament, you could really see the quality there. And I think the refereeing was atrocious throughout for every team. The pitches weren't up to the standard, but the teams played very well.
I
I
think,
don't think
yeah, I just want to know, did Messi win the Copa de America or did Argentina? Because like Messi did carry the whole team through and through, except maybe
it
in
doesn't matter
final.
if he carried the whole team or not. The tournament is like the Carabao Cup to me. The teams I won't regard this as, oh, he's won a big international tournament. He played against minnows, the players who can't even get into the League One, League Two, the Championship. Most players will be either League One, League Two level, or even National League level players. Against Messi, Sergio Aguero, Lautaro Martinez, Rodrigo De Paul, that's a recipe for disaster. The only good team they played was Brazil in the final. If I take you to Italy's way to the final and winning it, they defeated England, they defeated Spain, they defeated Belgium, and then they had the likes of Turkey, Wales in the group. So I mean, you can see the difference in quality. One needs to win the Euros and one needs to win the Copa America. If Messi won the World Cup, that is the pinnacle. But World Cup is like the Premier League. Euros are like the FA Cup for me, and then this is like the Carabao Cup. It's just there for some reason, and it happens so frequently. I don't realize when does it actually happen, when does it not. Happened in 15, it happened in 16. It it genuinely confuses me, the Copa.
To be fair, Messi was one good striker away from having a World Cup to his name because Gonzalo Higuain in the 2014 finals really stunk it up
Uh,
and missing all those one-on-one chances and all. But not to go there. But I think even even to win a Copa America against Brazil, against Colombia, he did play pretty well. So I think at the end they deserve to win. Yes, there's a gulf in the quality between the Copa and the Euros, but it's still a prestigious trophy, and
One thing I
Argentina
don't like
deserve to
about
win
this
it.
is they'll steal the Ballon d'Or from Lewandowski again.
that's what I'm gonna
Just because he
point
won
out.
the Copa with an
Yeah.
overpowered Argentina, and Lewandowski couldn't do it with a understaffed and under quality Poland. It,
Yeah,
it
but
just isn't fair to me. It's like
So nationality
just
definitely matters for the Ballon d'Or, right? Because we know Mbappe is going to win one in the future just because he is with France. Even if let's say he doesn't do very well with PSG or whatever club he's with in the future, maybe winning one domestic cup, but ends up winning an international trophy, which is going to be relatively easier with France than any other nation. I think he's going to win it. So the nationality definitely plays a role. And last season, Lewandowski was definitely robbed by the award not being presented totally, which is still triggering me. But I think this year Messi deserves it for what he did in La Liga. And even in Copa, he did play pretty well. He did exceed his own expectations, right?
I
I
mean,
think like this is a like as Arjun said, I know the quality of play is different. I completely agree because if you see the Euros lineup versus or the World Cup lineup versus Copa, yeah, there's a huge gap there. Like a couple of countries, or maybe even if you count Chile, or some other countries, there is a huge gap. I agree, but the Copa, this win was not an Argentinian celebration. Rather, it was how Messi finally got his trophy, and that's what mattered to me. Like, let's say if England or like how Italy and England won, they're known for the whole team. The whole team is either really good or really bad. But in Argentina, even the squad is good. Messi was the one who was in the spotlight for the major amount of time, and that's finally come. Like, it's gone to Argentina, come home to Argentina. I don't know. I am not using that phrase, but yeah. Considering Ballon d'Or, I think it's a very non-objective way of deciding who wins it because last year when everything was sorted, Lewandowski was still robbed of it because Ballon d'Or was not given out. So who knows what happens? But my question is, do you think Messi is now finally deserving of Ballon d'Or?
Yeah, I think he will win it because he did everything he could in La Liga, right? He was the top goal
Lewandowski
scorer, he
broke
was assistant.
Gerd Muller's record of 40 goals in a 34 game season.
Yeah, he does have that historic precedence, but he only ended up winning the league, right? Which Bayern always do. He didn't even win the League Cup, the DFB Pokal, which Dortmund won.
Dortmund
Or,
won, yeah.
uh, in my opinion, people were expecting Poland to qualify for their group. He at least to the round of 16.
I
What
mean,
about
Sweden were a really good team.
some other members like
But you'd expect Poland to be a little better than Sweden, right?
And
So,
Spain,
or
no, I want
like
to point out other
they were
people.
one good result away from qualifying.
but
The
if you look at
Lewandowski where he
Poland, it
missed
was
that header.
Poland is more dependent on Lewandowski than Argentina on Messi.
Yeah, I
He
get
was
that, but
carrying them as much as he could, but then quality just lacks in some areas. But for Messi, it doesn't. He has Martinez in goal. If Martinez didn't perform against Colombia, they would have lost. If Di Maria hadn't scored, they would have lost. If they hadn't had such a deep squad in Martinez, Lautaro Martinez, um, Sergio Aguero, all of these really good players in it, they wouldn't have won, right? If you had put Messi in that team, in that Poland team, I'm sure he wouldn't have done as well as Lewandowski has done.
Yeah,
That's all.
yeah, I
That
mean, I get the point, but that's where I said that nationality comes into play, right?
my question
So
is
it's just a
not.
bit unlucky for Lewandowski to not win a Ballon d'Or this year or last year. So
Yeah,
I
but my
think even he's accepted it through his statement. He ended up saying that if I lose to the best player in the world, it's okay.
question
and
is,
to me, he isn't the best player in the world.
there are other two people that I want to point out, right? There's Jorginho and there's Kante. Because in silverware,
Even
Jorginho.
Emerson won the Champions League and the Euro. So do you think Emerson should be given the
This
Ballon
is
d'Or?
this is just my prediction. Like, is he in the contention at all? Because if you look
Not
No,
at
at all.
not at all.
Kante played well only for the last 2 months of the
4 or 5
season, and just
games.
because he
That too in the Champions League.
overrun Real Madrid's slow midfield of Cruz and Modric in one semi-final and a final. He performed in 3 games and the last 2 months of the season. So he he didn't have the number of goals. He didn't have any assists. So I don't think Kante is going to win it.
It
Jorginho,
happened the same
he
with
had
Ruben Diaz
zero.
too.
He had yeah. So Jorginho had zero non-penalty goals in the league or in the Champions League. All and he had like just a couple of assists. Or he won. I don't think he contributed too much to Chelsea's Champions League winning squad. If you replace him with any other midfielder of his same caliber, I think they still win because Kante was in the same team where he was performing in the last 2 months. So I don't think Jorginho is really in contention either. I don't think either of them will finish in the top 15 either.
You know, social media today is so reactionary. After Jorginho scored that hop, skip, and jump penalty, which Bruno does every other week, they were making him look like some kind of god. Like, wow, what has he done? Like Bruno does it every other week. It's nothing new to us. And after that, they started calling, oh, he's going to win the Ballon d'Or. Like, what? Ruben Diaz had one good game against PSG. Everyone went mad. He's going to win the Ballon d'Or. He's going to win the Ballon d'Or. Yet, as I mentioned a fact on the previous podcast, Phil Jones had conceded less goals and had kept more clean sheets in 17-18 with Chris Smalling, Marcus Rojo, not Daily Blind, who played right? Ashley Young with that
Antonio
squad,
Valencia.
Antonio Valencia. And he didn't get the Ballon d'Or. He only got rinsed by the press for being Phil Jones. But because Ruben Diaz is all Portuguese and all that exotic type of centre back who has some pace, who can head the ball, who has some presence, who can score a goal, they think he's the best in the world.
So I think this year it's Messi's award to lose now. It depends on the voters, but I think Messi is going to win it in a landslide. Lewandowski did have that historic precedence where he broke Gerd Muller's record, but if
Yeah.
only I think if Bayern had gone deeper into the Champions League or the League Cup, I think Lewandowski would have been in for a shout, but I think this is Messi's year again.
Now people are saying the GOAT debate is over. They're saying Messi is the GOAT. Do you agree?
Yeah, I do agree. So Messi has he's more gifted than Ronaldo. So overall, I think with all stats, all goals to game ratios, and watching them play and the head-to-head record, I think Messi just edges Ronaldo in all of them. I have them 1 and 2 over Pele and Maradona, but I think Messi is just edging ahead now, clearly.
Aryan?
I actually don't know. I think Messi is the most gifted player, but seeing Ronaldo's game over the years and how he has continuously changed leagues, I think he's one of the only few players who have won the Champions League, the Premier League, La Liga.
Club
Um,
World Cup,
yeah.
Euros,
So
keep
Scudetto.
going on and on.
yeah, and
Carabao Cup.
yeah, and this year Messi did his best, and still La Liga was a disaster, a recipe for disaster. And then I don't know, circumstances said I still am a little confused. Like Arav said, Messi is the most gifted footballer you can ever see. But if you see how Ronaldo has grown over the years from his United game to now in Juventus and even in Madrid, he was great. Messi had his ups and lows. So for now, till the World Cup or till something big happens or till one of these decide to retire, I think Messi is the GOAT. But I'll still say Ronaldo just needs one push to take over that debate once more and be like, no, you know what? This is sorted. Ronaldo it is.
So Ronaldo definitely took the more difficult path. So that's why he has much more
No,
respect for people, right? He started out he didn't start out at Barca like Messi did. He started at a much smaller club, Sporting. Then he went to United at a younger age, where he actually developed his game. Messi was surrounded with generational talent. At 19 years old, he was part of the greatest team ever
Yeah.
in
yeah,
2009
so
to
doesn't
11.
doesn't it
So
show that
if
Ronaldo
Ronaldo
is
was,
actually better?
yeah, no, so there's definitely that argument. But even after Xavi was gone, Iniesta was gone, Messi still continued performing, and his
Yeah.
team kept winning titles and all. So it's like maybe 55-45 right now to Messi, but let's say one of them wins the World Cup next year.
The
I
debate
think
sorts itself out.
the debate's over.
No,
So whoever
the
wins the World
debate,
Cup, the
the
debate's
debate
over.
for the GOAT, I don't think it should be influenced by who's won more national titles. For me, it's 70-30, it's 70-30 to Ronaldo. It always will be. I don't care if Messi wins the next World Cup. I'm not saying this because I'm a United fan, but if you actually look at Ronaldo, played in the Premier League, lit the Premier League up since young age. It wasn't the most easy for him. He was, after that incident with Wayne Rooney, he was criticized. They were telling they're calling for United to sell him because Rooney was a generational talent, not Ronaldo at that point in 2004. Yet he somehow they accused him of diving, but no, he went on to become that world class player he is, and then went to Real Madrid. And then Real Madrid weren't, I mean, until Bale and Benzema and James were there performing, it was all well and good. But when they started to, recede a bit, he carried them completely. Went to Juventus at 36, topped the scoring charts. It, I mean, if you look at Messi, I'm not saying Messi is a bad player. He's an extremely, extremely gifted player, even more gifted than Ronaldo. But Ronaldo, for me, is a more hardworking player, and that is what will make him the GOAT because he's 36. He's still banging in goals. If you look at Messi, had Ronaldinho when he first came into Barcelona, had Xavi Iniesta. After they went, he had Suarez and Neymar. Now he has De Jong. I mean, not at the same level, but De Jong is a really good player. And then but as soon as the generational talents left, he couldn't win the title this season. At Argentina, what was the problem? He didn't have the generational talents with him. This time they could have won the Copa in 2016, but he was the one who lost them by smashing the penalty over the bar. This time, because he had such an overpowered team, he got the goals against Minos, and they think he's the GOAT again.
But okay,
That's what
so
really. don't agree with.
Same
Because
counter argument for Ronaldo too, right? Didn't he? That 2008 Manchester United team, it was absolutely stacked, wasn't it? Scholes, Carrick, that
how old was
midfielder,
Paul
defense
Scholes?
of Vidic,
How old was
that
Paul
defense of
Scholes? How
Vidic
old
and
was Ryan
Ferdinand in
Giggs?
their prime.
Yeah, but he scored 42 goals that season. And not only that, like, fine that season they were stacked. But after that, when he went to Real Madrid, they weren't stacked when he came. They started slowly building. The Galacticos eras just finished. And only after that, they started slowly building around Ronaldo. This season at Juventus, of
Yeah,
course, Juventus didn't finish very highly because Inter just ran away with it. But who did he have with him? A very young Chiesa, a misfiring Morata. Who
Dybala.
else? Dybala he's a bench warmer now. Nobody really cares about him as they did 4 5 years ago. So
But
if you
this
look
this
at
debate is
Ronaldo,
again like nature versus nurture. Nobody has an answer. No, nothing can prove it.
yeah,
I agree. Like that's
I
what I
mean it's just
said.
opinion. For
That's
me, my opinion would say Ronaldo will always be the GOAT rather than Messi. But for Arav, it might be Messi. So it really depends from person to person.
Yeah, for me, it's still very confusing. There's no
Yeah,
decisive factor here because Ronaldo took a longer path, and Messi did what he did great at like where he was in Argentina and Barcelona. He's still one of the greatest players in La Liga, and he will always be. And that's why these two people will be known for different reasons. And like there's a
We
different
were
mode.
lucky to actually witness
see them
and to
both in
be
the same
born in
era.
their era, right?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
Like instead of having one goat, like Pele, Maradona, Ronaldinho, all these were like in their primes in different times. We have both of them together, and yeah, competing and all. So the debate of goat is never sorted here. Both of these are goats. It's just that do you prefer nature of Messi and his talent that he's improved over time, or nurture of Ronaldo where he started, took a different path, always tried different leagues, and still is playing well. So that's the thing. But anyways, I think that wraps up pretty much all
I
of
mean
it.
this debate could go on for days if you wanted to, but
Yeah, but I think that will be a little too
yeah,
long for YouTube.